Hi, this is Anita from the Global Trade Gal. There is no doubt that we live in an era where technology is changing. In fact, I once heard somebody talk about this era that we live in, or maybe the next 5 or 10 years we live in, that this is maybe comparable to the time when the huge industrial revolution, when things began to change at a very rapid pace. We live in a world where things are ever changing and ever going to, affect us in some way. We live in an era of rapid technological advancement. And it's going to affect everything, including the logistics and the supply chain. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about this because at Mondoro, where we create, develop, and manufacture home decor and home furnishing products, we really believe in staying ahead of the curve and by looking at innovation. I embraced AI a long time ago and said to my staff, let's embrace AI. And we've started using things as ChatGPT and other forms of AI for quite a while now. And one of the reasons is just because I believe that this is something which is going to be very important for us to all understand. I recently saw some research by Microsoft and LinkedIn where they basically talked about one of the most important things that any future employee could have would be knowledge of AI. And I believe that that's really true. So, it's going to affect many, many parts of the global supply chain. And one way it's going to really affect it is in how the supply chain does. AI is really the game changer of the 21st century. And in 2 to 4 years, things could look very differently than what they do now. One of the things that people talk about a lot is this blockchain technology, and it's known for its decentralized and secure nature. And it can actually, Blockform transforms how logistics companies can handle data, contracts, and transactions. So, expect to see more things in the global supply chain going forward with things as blockchain, because blockchain is going to help to be able to enhance trust and collaboration among all stakeholders in the supply chain. AI in global logistics is going to transform global logistics in many ways. Here are some ways that we see it's going to change the global logistics and will continue to change it. One would be predictive and analytics and demand forecasting. AI algorithms can analyze historical data, market trends, and consumer behavior to predict and demand fluctuations accurately. Before someone would do that manually, they'd look at a bunch of different spreadsheets. But this AI will be able to do this. They'll be able to take that data and within a very short period of time, we'll be able to spit it out and to say, here's what we predict is going to happen. This will enable companies to optimize their inventory and reduce the risk of stockouts or overstocking. Another way could be route optimization and fleet management. Expect to see AI systems that they will, optimize the delivery routes by analyzing traffic patterns, weather conditions, and real-time logistics data. This could lead to faster deliveries, better deliveries, reduced fuel consumption, and cost savings. AI in the global supply chain will help with warehouse automation and inventory management. That you could see AI, which we're starting to see now, AI-powered robots and automation systems. They will start revolutionizing how warehouse operations are run. And it essentially could mean, with the robots, that a warehouse could run 24 hours with just a few, human beings in there. But yet the robots will reduce human error and will enhance order efficiency. So expect to see this as something which will continue to go. Customer service and chatbots. AI chatbots will provide real-time customer support, be able to handle basic inquiries, track shipments, and resolve issues efficiently. And this will enhance the customer satisfaction while reducing the workload on human agents. I admit, I a lot of times want to talk to a human being. And sometimes they get very frustrated with the chatbots. You got to go back and forth, back and forth. But that is the world that we live in today. But what's going to happen with AI is these chatbots will probably become better and more human-like. And, maybe it will become more like talking to a human being than what it is now. Blockchain and logistics will be able, we mentioned blockchain before, believe that it's going to revolutionize global logistics. And some of the ways it's gonna secure and you'll be a secure and transparent supply chain tracking. It's going to help do some things like smart contracts and automatic payments. So, a human being won't be doing the payments. The payments could become automatic. It can help with counterfeit prevention and it can help make sure that the product is authentic and, authentic verification. And this could be really important for, people that are, maybe dealing with a brand or something to make sure that the products that are shipping in and out are that they're not counterfeit ones. It could enhance security and data integrity, ensure that the data is secure and tamper proof. At Mondoro, this is very interesting because, at Mondoro, we deal with a lot with handcrafted items. We believe, we are all about creating, developing, and manufacturing home decor and home furniture products. A lot of what we do relies upon art, the artistry and skills of artisans, worldwide, especially here in Asia. And why, AI and blockchain, is transforming logistics, we believe that this is an area where it probably won't be able to transform it, that there will be many products which are handmade, which will still be required to be handmade. AI a lot of times cannot replace that human touch when it comes to crafting unique and culturally rich products. It also will not be able to really maybe be able to come up with a lot of the design and the creation and the other ideas. But yet AI, I always say to people, like, AI can really be like your best friend. If you have a question on something and, instead of talking to maybe a human being or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 human beings, you can actually put it into AI and say, hey, give me some ideas. What do you think on this? So, even though we are great believers that AI and blockchain are here to stay, we also believe that, things like homemade or handmade or some of the craftsmanship and the artisan is still here to stay too and will not be able to be replaced by robots or others. Why? Because it just requires that sort of hand touch, that human touch. So, people that are afraid of AI or technology, I really believe there's no reason to really be afraid of it. Instead, it should be something that you should be looking to embrace and to say, this is the way the world's going. This is the next industrial revolution that, you really have a choice here. You can either be left behind or become a part of it. And at Mondoro, we've decided that we need to embrace it and become a part of it and use it in ways that we can. For example, for me, for AI, sometimes I might say, I might write to my chatbot and say, I'm looking for what are some designer trend ideas? Just see what they spill out for me. I'll look at it and say, this could be right. That's an idea. I never thought about that before. No, I don't think so. I still use my human brain or my mind to think it through, but I kind of use AI or what they're giving me as sort of like if I was talking to a friend, where a friend may give me some ideas, I use it the same way. So I think instead of us being afraid of it or being afraid of technology, those of us that are in the global supply chain need to learn to be able to embrace it because this is the way things are going. So either you'll embrace it or be left behind. I've written a blog on this if you'd be interested in reading more of it. The Future of Logistics, Tech-Driven Solutions for a More Efficient Supply Chain. And we'll put a link in the description for you to be able to read that blog and maybe get you some other ideas as to why this is important. For us at Mondoro, some of the things that we do is that we really try to use AI, but at the same time, we really make collaboration a focus. And we try to have weekly team meetings and training meetings. We try to collaborate with our stakeholders. And because we realize that even though with all of these other things going on, we really still need to be able to work together. We hope that you've enjoyed this, that you will subscribe to us because we'd love to have you be part of our community. This podcast is sponsored by Mondoro. We create, develop, and manufacture home decor and home furnishing products in Asia with a social conscience. We'd love to have you check out our blog at mondoro.com and sign up for our newsletter. We'll put a link below in our description so you can easily go there. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please give us a thumbs up and leave us a review. This really helps. Thank you again for listening.